This is an honest self-help book that isn't like anything else you've read. Mark Manson destroys all the advice we've been given for years, like think positively and follow your passion, and goes into great depth about what you should do to be happy and live a full life. As you can tell from the title, his writing is cruel and even violent at times. But sometimes we need a hard kick in the butt to make things better in our lives. The core idea is this: it's hard to give a fuck about the important things in life if you care too much about too many things. It seems silly and not important at first, but if you think about it for a second, you realize that this one line sums up what a good life is all about. Mark Manson is trying to show us that bad things will happen sometimes, which is fine. You'll be able to set your values in order and start thinking only about the important things in your life if you follow the advice in the book. Now, I'm gonna share you the highlights of this book. It's not right to always be right. Accept that you will fail and learn from your mistakes. You are in charge of your life. Even though you can't change what happens to you, you can choose how to react. And finally, pick out the things that are most important to you. Don't care about them. Don't care about anything else. And here are the 5 key lessons from the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Lesson number 1: it's okay to be wrong. Why is it important to always be right? If you want to learn something new but are always right or think you are right, you're stopping yourself from learning. For many years, people believed that the earth was flat. Psychologist named Sigmund Freud said in the 1800s that clitoral orgasm were a sign of mental sickness. As a child, I thought that tomatoes were dangerous because they are red. Everything we do is affected by being wrong. You're probably wrong about at least 5 things. Even you're right about one. Because there is too much pressure from outside we are afraid to say when we're wrong. Truthfully, being wrong is good. We learn from our mistakes. Yes, but only if we stop to think about why we failed in the first place. Write down what happened later so that we can avoid it again. In other words, every mistake is a chance to discover something new and interesting. So, accept that you failed. Think about why you mess up your last relationship, your job, or even project, and then make the necessary changes. And according to the author, if someone is better than you at something, then it's likely because he has failed at it more than you have. The next lesson would be responsible. I hate it when people don't take care of their own lives. Even Mark Manson hates people like that. In his book, he makes a strong case for why you should stop always blaming others and start being a responsible person. People near me say things like, "It's not my fault. These things were put here by someone else. I grew up in the wrong neighborhood. My parents didn't have enough money to send me to college. This is not part of my job." He is rich because of his parents. Others choose to think that they can't fix their issues. People like this always try to put the blame for their problems and bad luck on the other people or outside events. Reasons for doing it? Because it's less work. We can get a quick rush of energy and get away from our issues by denying them. In any case, for a short time. Of course, you will grow if you don't hide behind the bar when things get tough. If you act and take responsibility rather than hiding. Getting through tough situations and solving problems takes guts and willpower. It's the right thing to do in the long run though. Good things will happen in your life more often if you can get over the problems you face. No matter what happens in the outside world, we are the ones responsible for everything that happens in our lives. Sometimes, we can't change what happens to us. We decide how to react and how to understand what happens to us. And according to the author, who you are is defined by what you're willing to struggle for. Lesson number 3: do something. Thinking about doing nothing and waiting for something good to happen is probably the dumbest idea you can think of. Folks often don't change their lives because they are scared or too lazy to do so. Some of them say things like, "I need to graduate first and then look for a job. I need to lose 10 kilograms before I can ask Jenny to go on a date with me. I need to come up with a brilliant, groundbreaking idea before I can start a business. I need to buy a new laptop and then start my online business. Instead of waiting for their idea to come to them, great writers just sit on their backs and write every day. Also, famous players usually like a little more sugar in their food. To get that gold award though, they have to stick to a strict plan that includes workouts and food they don't really want to eat. Despite of your mental, financial, or physical state, you must act every day if you want to achieve anything. Your boss doesn't care about how you feel right now. Life goes on. Any illness like a fever or breast cancer won't protect you from a bird pooping on your head or someone stealing your bag. Don't forget these things while you're sitting on the couch thinking about what Netflix show to watch next. Your first step should probably be to stop all of your services like Netflix. Lesson number 4. Satisfaction from less. You can think that living in the 21st century has both good and bad things about it. There are millions of goods, chances, foods, and people to fall in love with. Too often, we tell ourselves right away after buying something or starting a relationship, I had to go out with that other guy. What the heck was I thinking? Modern poverty means living in a small room with a few clothes and only the things you need. Society says that's the case. Our phones, watches, and other gadgets are constantly sending us alerts about cool places to visit and new products that are supposed to make our lives better. Of course, that's not all. You have a lot of people trying to get you to buy this new book or take this new course about habits and other things. Most people tell you that doing more will make you happy. Though this modern motto is appealing, believing in it has some problems. This means you'll never be truly happy or have enough space to store all of your clothes. Trying to keep up with the latest tech trends will probably put you in a lot of debt. Your thoughts will be jumbled. Is there an approach? Yes, there definitely is. It will be better for you mentally and physically if you turn down most of these offers. Choosing a value, skill, goal, or person to be with means turning down the others. From Mark's book, if I choose to make my marriage the most important thing in my life, that probably means I'm not choosing to make cocaine-fueled hooker orgies an important thing in my life. It's necessary to take care about something in order to value it. For something to have worth, we have to reject what it's not. It's necessary to reject not X in order to value X. Rejecting things is important for staying sane. You should learn to live with less, choosing what matters to you, and turn down the rest of the things that try to get in. And for the final lesson, play with what you've got. Being alive is a lot like playing cards. These cards are given to us when we are born. Others get better cards than me. Nonetheless, this doesn't always mean that you will win or lose the game. Numerous well-known and successful people didn't have any money, a formal education, or even parents when they were young. Still, with hard work and a lot of courage, they are now widely successful. On the other hand, everyone knows someone who had almost everything before they were born. Kids whose whole lives were spoiled, the perfect deck of cards. Although these people had every chance to be great, we often see them die of an overdose in a dark alley. Actually, it doesn't matter what cards you get. What matters is how well you play with the ones you have, going into the game with the goal of staying there. And the author puts it like this: we all get dealt cards. Some of us get better cards than others. And while it's easy to get hung up on our cards and feel we got screwed over, the real game lies in the choices we make with those cards, the risks we decide to take, and the consequences we choose to live with. And for us to apply these things, I'm going to share you about the actionable notes from this book. Number 1, you need to be very selective about the things that come into your world. Take a look at your life and decide what's most important to you. Number 2, if you're not sure what picture to post on social media, don't worry about it too much. The third one would be, never lie to yourself. It's usually painful to hear the truth, but it's important to do so. Truth telling is the most powerful way to get people to move. The fourth one would be, figure out what you don't want to do at work. Do you think someone else should do it, or are you scared? Your problems need to be dealt with, no matter what they are. And the last one would be, It is true that we will all die. Think about what you can do or make that will to help the future generations, since we won't be in this show for much longer. You know what? This is a current self-help book that doesn't have the usual you can do it all crap that doesn't work that you find in all other books in this field. It's a real book for real people. And as you can see from the title, a book with shown stuff in it. After the useful philosophical information and useful tips, you finally understand why the F word is used in so many situations. Because in the end, you understand that life isn't about giving too many fucks. It's about giving a fuck about fewer things. It turns out that the second choice is much better. My key takeaway can be summarized in the following quote from the book itself. In life, we have a limited amount of fucks to give. You must choose your fucks wisely. Mark Manson. In addition, life is essentially an endless series of problems. The solution to one problem is merely the creation of another. Mark Manson.
Thank you for watching this video. At Level Up Plus, our mission is to empower individuals to become visionary leaders committed to excellence through lifelong learning. We believe in personal and professional growth through a culture of empowerment, innovation, and continuous improvement. By embracing leadership, empowerment, vision, excellence, and lifelong learning, we aim to elevate you and your organization to new levels of success and impact. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us for more content on how to level up your potential. Together, let's embrace the journey of lifelong learning. See you next time.